Last week, the S&P 500 took a break from making new all-time highs, while Bitcoin finally woke up and surged 2.86% in just 3 days. Now we are heading into the most important trading week of the summer. I'm a professional engineer and I've been day trading and investing for 4+ years. And in this video, I'll be going over the key economic events we need to pay attention to, along with the stocks that I'm going to be watching and how I'm going to trade them, so that you do not miss out on this important week and the opportunities it's going to provide. Alright, let's start with the economic calendar. This week we have the Jackson Hole Symposium starting on Thursday and it will run till Saturday. It's closed to press, but some reporters, high profile reporters, will be able to ask questions. The day to pay attention to is Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We have the Fed chairman speaking at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and this tends to move the market. We also have preliminary benchmark payrolls revision at 10 a.m. Eastern Time as well. So Friday is the day that most people will be paying the most attention to because of this Fed chair speech. Another day to pay attention to is Wednesday, because we have preliminary GDP numbers coming out before market opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you mark it on your calendars and you're able to manage risk. Wednesday is a big day in the market because the biggest company in the world, Nvidia, is reporting earnings on Wednesday after market close. So all the semiconductor names, be on watch, see which name shows sympathy and moves with Nvidia when it reports, whether it moves up or down. We don't know what the market has in store for us. CrowdStrike, CRWD, is also going to be reporting earnings as well. They're a tech company, a cybersecurity tech company to pay attention to. Other names are Intuit and Zoom on Tuesday after market close, but the main one is on Wednesday after market close. You can see how Wednesday is an important day for us in the stock market. Now I'm going to move on and just talk about the stocks that I'm watching, quite a few of them, and how I'm going to trade them. And of course, I'm going to be updating those in my free community. Over the past week, I've been live trading for free. So if you're not in the community, make sure you join, because I'm going to be live trading for free until August 31st. What is happening on SPY coming into this week? I want to see if we actually just get this selling over with. What does that mean? We finally break below this 762. We get down into this 760, 61 level. And if 760, 61 fails to hold, you can see that there is a gap to be filled at 757.67, which is really close to the previous all-time high level. So price will just be coming back to revisit the all-time highs that we broke back in early August. Now, if we're able to see buyers step up around this area this coming week, assuming we sell early on in the week or at some point, if we see buyers step up, then we could potentially see a reversal from these levels. But if it fails to hold, we have lower to continue into 750s. Now, as for upside, if we do not sell right away and we start to reclaim levels such as 768 and 770.38, there's room towards 772.47. This is where we will see a real true test of buyer strength if we're able to see price push up into this area for a retest. We might end up seeing something like this happen and then we drop lower. But if we are able to somehow reclaim this high and we see some buyers step up, push price, retest this level, and then continue higher, we might revisit all-time highs at 779.37. We'll see what happens. This week is a big week. Expect volatility and big moves either up or down. But as usual, I'll be updating those in my free community and we'll be able to navigate the storms. Now, QQQ, similar idea. Let's see if QQQ ends up breaking below this 707.53 support area. If QQQ fails, most likely come down into the 700 to fill the gap. If 700 fails to hold, it has room down to 690s and even 685. If we see buyers start to step up around this 700 area, then we might end up reversing. QQQ really has just been chopping around, not really clear breakthrough, did not create new all-time highs with SPY. So let's see what happens. If we end up holding and we don't sell early in the week, that's if we don't break this support area and we end up building above this 715, we can move into this 719.70, and then the big test would be this 723 area, because if we're able to hold it, there's room into 728 and 729.85. Now the next name to talk about is Nvidia, the king of the market, or the queen of the market. Anyway, the leader of the market. So Nvidia is coming down, right? And it's retesting this resistance, now turned support, assuming it holds. If Nvidia is able to hold this support area, it can then maybe bounce and come back into this ugly, nasty range that we have. We have earnings on Wednesday, so let's see what happens. The market may end up pushing higher and Nvidia moving into all-time highs or more. Who knows? If it has a very positive reaction, we could wake up on Thursday morning and this thing would be above 236. If Nvidia ends up breaking down and failing 214, there's a gap to fill at 211.86. And if 211.86 fails, it could come down to 209 and eventually just 206.69 to fill the gap right here. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to be trading Nvidia until after it reports earnings and price action is clear. Next name is Tesla. Tesla, we were able to trade this on Friday in the community. Great trade. Now, let's see what Tesla does from here, because Tesla is basically just pushing into this earnings gap area. If Tesla is able to reclaim this level, this area, and sellers don't come in, Tesla can push into this 385 area as well that we are seeing on the charts. But if sellers step up, we can then see a retest back into this 351 area that Tesla broke out from on Friday. Next name on the list is Apple. Apple has been, trying to get out of this range, but it keeps coming back into it. Last week, early on, we saw a push up into this supply area, like slash resistance area, this 319, 320 area, and then we saw aggressive selling down back into this range that we don't really want to be participating in. So for Apple, if we start to see levels fail like 307 and 305, we'll most likely come back to revisit this lower 300 area. Apple, for me, just waiting to see when this, sorry about that, just waiting to see when this support level 299.79 actually breaks, because then there's room down to 293. I've been saying that for several weeks now. That's when the real downside move will come. But if you're able to catch this rejection here, because Apple just came back into higher time frame resistance last week, and then it failed because it could not continue higher to try and fill this gap that it has. Who knows, if it continues to maintain and we see strong reaction this week after the Jackson Hole symposium happens, we might end up seeing Apple break this 320 support. Next name on the list, I barely talk about it, is Hood. So Hood was showing strength on Friday, and I can see that there are levels that Hood has to clear, but there's room if Hood can get above 109.83. which is slightly above Friday's highs. If you can break above that level, there's room into 114. And if 114.25 is able to hold, 116 is even possible on this name. Keeping my eye on it to see if we're able to reclaim levels and able to continue to show strength as well. Another name on the list is PLTR. PLTR finally broke above that 180 on Friday and revisited 182 to the T. PLTR, oh, I didn't even update my line. So let's just draw it together. With PLTR here, we have this high 182.36. Let's see if PLTR can get above this area and push into 187. 187.26 is the next resistance, 5 points away from this 182.42. If we can actually push higher into 187, I'll be watching it on Monday to see if this move happens. As long as we hold above 180, PLTR has room to continue to grind higher. It spent so much time consolidating within this range, so I'm expecting it to actually push and continue higher and for it not to break down. So just watching, preferably we hold above this Friday's high for a push into 187.29 and even 190s is possible. There's room there. The last thing I want to mention is BTC, Bitcoin. Okay, that was the wrong ticker. BTC USD is what I want to mention. I still have my old lines on here, but they're still valid. You can see that price. I'm gonna change them back to uh black so that you can see those lines were drawn when I had a black background. Um, okay, you can see that it's still valid. We came into this resistance area and now price is just consolidating. If Bitcoin is able to get above 80, 82 will come quick and even 85. Let's see if this strong push up that it had is still strong enough. True buyers are finally going to push this thing back into all-time highs. Let's see. Bitcoin has been weak all year, but if it ends up breaking back down, Bitcoin could come back to revisit 67, 68 area around this area on the Bitcoin. We could even see if we see sellers step up aggressively or if some news impacts Bitcoin. That's all I'm watching this week. As usual, I'm going to be updating those in my free community so that they can stay aware of what's happening on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for a brand new video.